Operating systems first. Large publications that need to compress without losing any quality is, I think, the first place it's going to come up for use on the web, and operating systems, where the OpenType Alliance, the OpenType 1.8 Alliance is moving quickly to get their operating systems and browsers working. So that's where we're focused on now, and we expect that to continue for at least another year while Adobe gets their applications ready for variable fonts. Yes. I think that the impersonal use of the mono-weight sans serif for everything is a little bit difficult for users who want to put anything into their communications that has feeling. And what's been substituted instead of stylistic typography are emoji and things. So you have this very boring typeface, and then emoji to show the recipient that there's some sort of emotion in there. And I've thought that email and all sorts of personal communications should have the ability for the user to select the font that they want to use and bundle that font with the message and go along. But messages are such small things, data-wise, that it's almost impossible to get people to make them bigger. And so you're stuck with a situation where only the fonts that are on a particular device can be used, and because there are a lot of different phone companies making phones, it's difficult to have interoperability on those. So it's almost an impossible ask, as we say in the United States, to say we want custom fonts in our messaging. But I think that eventually they'll get around to it. More personalized, more people having the ability to customize the font they use depending on the recipient, the topic, time of day, time of year, things that are sort of natural in the human experience, where people say happy holidays at some time of year, and they say good night at a certain time of the day, and those things are really missing from personal communications on a broad basis, for people to be able to select the tone of voice they want to use. And this is an issue where most people haven't been trained to select a typeface depending on their voice. So Sampo Casila's presentation yesterday was very interesting, because it showed this huge field of possibilities, and the user can type in happy or sad. I assume they can type in Christmas or Easter and get to a font that is appropriate to the occasion, and help users that way to make their typographic selections. Now this seems like, you know, way too much font choices for users, and so it only really works if there's a certain amount of intelligence built in to the selection process, where the computer knows what time it is, it knows what the date is, and it knows who you're talking to and the relationship between you, and then you can set up templates, or it can make guesses for you about which fonts to use for various things. But that stuff hasn't even been set up for professionals yet, who deal with type selection all day. So getting it down in 10 years, it doesn't seem like a big deal. 10 years is a long time in type, you know. So I think that this will happen eventually.